Hello everyone, my name is Lei Han. I would like to welcome you to my presentation about a vocabulary app I have been working on called VocaMaster. So let's get it started. First of all, I would like to introduce you to my persona, Peter. Peter is 29 years old and works as a quality control analyst for house appraisals. Peter is married. He and his wife Amanda live in the north suburb of Chicago. An interesting thing is that Amanda is actually from China, and that's one of the reasons why Peter has been learning Chinese. Although Amanda speaks fluent English, she has a family in China that does not speak English at all. Peter really hopes to be able to speak to them in Chinese fluently in the future. Goals and motivations. Peter used to live in China for almost 2 years, so he has a basic understanding of the language, but he needs a tool to help him build up his vocabulary, so he will be fluent for everyday conversation one day in the future. Before the design, there are a few problems that needed to be figured out to better help Peter with learning Chinese words. Peter does not like things too complex or takes too much time to figure out how to use. With his own words, Peter said, "I'm not a very patient person." So he really wants an app that is easy to use, very straightforward with its functions, and of course a clean, simple interface. As a young working professional, Peter has quite a busy life schedule. Just like most of us, he does not have big chunk of time to focus on study, but he does have a long commute to work every day on the train. So he really wants short and interactive lessons so he can go through them with small pieces of his time. Peter also wants to be able to compete with his learning peers or track his learning so he feels motivated to keep studying. Also, as a procrastinator, Peter wants an effective motivation system so to make sure that he actually uses the app every day. And some challenges faced by Peter. Peter says, learning Chinese has become part of my life. It's always ongoing for me, but I still find it hard to build up vocabulary. It's just very frustrating. So because of his life schedule, Peter does not have big chunk of time to focus on learning vocabulary every day. Just only small pieces of his time here and there, maybe on the train during lunch break, 15 minutes before going to bed. Peter also finds it hard to keep his learning material well organized. He said he used to use paper flashcards, but it's just hard to keep them all together, categorized, well organized, and they often ended just lost somewhere. And Peter also often feels bored in memorizing new words and their definitions, so it's hard for him to concentrate when he feels bored. After the interview and analyzing the persona's need and problem, I start to work on the wireframes and the prototype. So from the very left of the screen, you can see the splash screen, very simple, just the logo. And then it's the onboarding pages that gives you a brief introduction of what the app is about, what it can do for you. You can simply swipe through this, or if it's not your first time that you use the app or you just want to explore it later yourself, you can just click the skip button on the left bottom corner. So either way, you come to the login page, and then you can, if you don't have an account, you can switch to the sign up page. You can use your email ID, your Google account, and Facebook account to log in or sign up. Once logged in, you will see the home page on the far left of the screen also. At the bottom is the tab bar for navigation system. So from home page, you can choose a deck to study. For the search function, you can find flashcards that created by other user who want to share. So we hope with this function, it creates a feeling of community and you can find interesting topic. So we hope that will encourage users to use this app more. Then you can also create your own deck, give it a cover photo so that will help to easily locate it in the future, give it a category to keep it well organized. And then the user profile function show you some statistics of your learning progress, how many words you have learned today, how many words you have learned total. We hope to use this as a motivation for users to continue using the app. Also from the profile page, you can find settings on the right top corner, the little icon like a wheel gear. So under there, you can change your account information, send us feedbacks. If you need help, there's a then FAQ section. And of course, you can also log out the app from there. You can also create new flashcard decks or add some new cards to the existing decks and label the decks under different categories so that will keep all this material well organized. There are 4 different ways that you can study a deck of words. You can browse through the flashcards in the deck, or study mode will ask you questions. You can type the answer in there. There's also a game-like mode called match that you can match the word and its meaning definition. So it keep it study fun and entertaining. So after creating the prototype, I conduct a usability test to test out the basic functions and the logics to see if this app is able to provide solutions to my persona's problems. So I asked my testers to complete the following tasks: sign in and sign up, navigation, explore the navigation system, add new card to a study deck, study a deck of cards, and also check their study progress. And after the usability test was completed, I noticed some issues and things that need to be addressed and changed right away. So from the early prototype, the onboarding pages, users can only click next to browse through it or skip to get to the login page. But a user said they cannot swipe backwards when they can, so they feel they're trapped in the middle of the pages. And of course, that's not very user friendly. So to improve that, in the next prototype, I will allow users to click for the next page or just simply swipe forward and backwards. And another issue that caused a lot of confusion is the homepage structure. Users find this structure of the homepage quite confusing. They don't understand the difference between categories, favorite, and recent. So to make improvements, first thing I did, I changed the homepage structure to a very simpler one. It only consists 2 parts, my decks and the trending. From my decks, you can find the flashcard decks that either created by the user themselves or the ones they saved from search that they found other user created. And under trending, there are popular study decks from other users that who created and want to share with everyone. And you can click the See All button next to on the top right corner to access all the folders and choose a deck under that folder. Here I change the word category to folder. It functions the same way, but I feel it's easier for user to understand with the word folder. So I also give a feeling of how to organize the different decks. And in the earlier prototype, another thing is for the navigation system, user said the add button at the bottom of this page is confusing because they don't know if what it's for. Is that for adding a new deck of card or just adding a new card? And also inside each deck, the add button is missing for user to add a new card to this deck. So to improve this, I also use a different word for the same function. I use a new deck instead of add, so that make it more clear is to create a whole new deck of flashcards. I also restructured the create deck page so users can click on a card to add it instead of using the edit and delete buttons. And also just a little plus sign is added there for adding new cards to the deck. And inside each deck page, I use a little pencil icon as the edit button so users can click that to add, edit, delete cards inside a deck. Next steps. For next steps, I would implement more improvement to prototype based on our first usability test. So besides the ones I address in this presentation, there are a few more issues at a lower severity level, but we will still need to fix it for the next round. After that, I will conduct another round of usability test to gain more feedbacks. Hopefully that will help me to finalize most of the design decisions for major functions and the features. And after that, I think I'll make a mid fidelity level prototype, probably a digital one. And then with that, of course, more and further testing is needed. What I have learned from this designing process, there are pros and cons. For pros, the user interview, persona, and usability test are all very important. First of all, the user interview is a very important step at the beginning of a design process. It lets designers to know your potential users and their needs. And personas help a designer to transform information from interviews to possible needs and requirements to set up the basic design for an app. And usability tests are essential. It allows users to see how it allows designers to see how users interact with the app and review errors that can cause inconvenience and frustration in the future. And some cons. First, I was being over concerned with some minor details at the low fidelity wireframes, and then I find I figure out it's very time consuming and can be very inefficient. So I figure out I just need to stop fixating on minor details that are not very important at this level. So I just have to let them go. Second, I try to put too many ideas in one app all at once at the beginning because I want to make the coolest app that can do a lot of things. And of course, that backfired at me. Then I learned that I need to really focus on the most important functions and features. And then after that, some other small cool features can always be added in the future. And that is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for joining me today. Have a good day.